It's Lori. Wait, you know, everybody's Linda in my head. Well, hey, hi Linda, welcome. Hi Linda, welcome. Okay, our meeting is in progress and I'm calling out wrong names. Isn't that very nice? A thought for the day from Bob Keyser. That's Linda. Thank you, Linda.
This is from the Fount of Wisdom of the children's book, The Phantom Children. And it's what you can do is often simply a matter of what you will do.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Bob. Come on, move. It is time to mute all. And wait a minute. Something happened here. Let's back up and do that again. How about this? Ladies and gentlemen, Jim and Linda and Debbie, please approach the podium so we can see you and talk. Yeah, it's on here somewhere. I went by it? Oh, well, let's induct a guest and then we'll say hi to our visitors. What the heck?
They're not welcome until we start.
Yeah, this is another mess up meeting. Is this another one? Why do we do those all the time?
Thank you, President David. Well, Debbie has been a friend to Rotary. Sometimes life happens and we leave Rotary for one reason or another, and I'm just delighted that Debbie is back today. She originally joined us in 2009, and even during her time out, she was a good friend of Rotary, helped us with all our fundraisers and our events, our work events, and you know, it's good to be a Sebastopol Sunriser, and she's back. And so with that, Jim was her original sponsor. Would you like to say a couple of things?
Well, it's an honor to stand with you. I'm a little bit upset that I have welcome back Connor stuck in my head. Yeah, I mean, my personal testimony for Debbie is you help her with something, she helps you with something. And we spent a lot of time together on the Alliance Redwoods website and Sonoma Canopy Tours website. And in the goodness of her heart, Debbie took us to Kansas, the Concierge Alliance of Napa Valley, Sonoma, and worked really, really hard to help us network the stargazing business. So that's what you get from Debbie.
She also took us to see what else.
Everybody's turning to the seats of this high, reaching the stage for the high.
We have a pin for you, which will open doors. You have a lot of travel in your future, and this gets you in the door of any Rotary Club around the world. And so we're very excited for you. Welcome back to Sebastopol Sunrise.
So Debbie, we know that you're going to carry a bit of our hearts with you when you take off for Texas. She's going to join and lead. So what's the deal with that? Tell us how that works.
Well, I've got these two grandsons that I played the main role in my in their father's. I was the main character in their father's raising, and now I'm going to be a supporting cast member for those two grandsons. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be back here often because I'm going to miss the weather just a tad, but you know, it's good fun.
It'll always be great to see Debbie's part. She rejoined, so when she goes to Texas, she doesn't have to beg out at the door and get an invitation. You just show up and you can visit any Rotary meeting you want anywhere. Yeah, you got your pass, you got your membership, and welcome back. And you take off on the 16th. Well, back to visiting guests and Zoom participants. Who would like to introduce? Oh, Diana Curtis.
I have a bit of a list here. We have Terry Clark, and we have Martin Lay, Marty, no, Marty, and David sent me a whole list of goodies. District Governor, major donor, Paul Harris Society member. She's District 5130 Triple Crown Society. So she's the chair. So I'm just really thrilled you're here today. And it's good to see you again. Thank you very much. And we have our speakers today. Our speaker is Jennifer Masterson. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Masterson, and I'm a longtime scouter, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our program this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Diana. Who else would like to introduce a guest? And do we have anybody? Well, there's everybody. Hello, Henry. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Jim. Good to see you all. And I see Michael Cook on there. He is so handsome. When I grow up, I want to look like him. Well, I got that part done. And it's time to mute the folk in the audience. We did that. And if you, let's remember that if you are online, don't forget to send in your $10 per meeting to keep us supported, the rent paid and the lights on. I put the overhead lights on, that cost us an extra $5 today. And of course, we move on. What happened last year, this time? Henry Alter, you were last year 5/10/21 along with Rich Ruby. I think it was officiated by Reverend Sitting on the Moon. And so we just had a big induction event after such a long COVID time. Henry, a couple of words from you? No? Well, glad to have you all here. And let's move on to some magic moments. So, Bob, you want to talk about this?
Actually, this is my second time working at the Gardens. I don't know if you know where the series New Garden is. It's by the Sebastopol Charter School. They have about 1.5 acres of just a number of months ago, it was just pasture. And so the first time we were there, it was with the New Club. This time it was the interactors. And so, you know, it's 3 hours of moving dirt and stuff like that, but it's not that hard. They break at about half. And the kids realize that they want to keep on doing this, and it's giving back to the community and just having a lot of fun too. So that's about it.
Well, lovely, and thank you, John, for also being there. Or should I call him Greg? Thank you, Greg, for being there and for helping us to kind of connect well with the Interact students. It's just brilliant that that you're with us and with them. So, Susan and I had a magic moment. Some of you will remember from long ago an exchange student that we have, Jacques. She sent us a recipe. She sends us recipes regularly, sometimes videos, how to cook Thai food, because we started cooking. Whenever we host an exchange student, we get a cookbook and we start cooking the culture. So we were online with her, and she made something, we made the same thing, and it turned out real well, and we ate together on Zoom. It was kind of sweet. So there it is, that's pumpkin curry, and she had the recipe with you, and that connection, that long-term connection is so heartwarming and wonderful, because it was years ago, right? How long ago was she here? I don't even remember that far. 2006, 2007. Yeah, well, thank you. Sorry, I don't remember things like that. So Joe, I got this email from Joe, and it was, hey, I can't be there because, what? Tell us what's happening in your life.
Well, Wednesdays are hi, Anna. Or that's Linda, sorry. Wednesdays, we are scheduled to go to Berkeley every Wednesday to take care of our grandkids. The nanny works Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's just the way it's worked out. So it's fine, it's great duty. But this week, a little change, we're going in tomorrow, so I got a chance to come here today. So today happens to be, what is today? You're right, May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day. And a week or so ago, we were in Disneyland, which I believe they're going to change the name to Star Wars Land because it's all Star Wars. It's quite the deal. And there we were about a week or so ago in the happiest place on earth with our Portland grandkids and family. So that was kind of fun.
Cool. And you are commuting to Oakland. Berkeley.
The sovereign state of Berkeley, once a week. Yeah.
How cool is
And
that?
sometimes more. It depends. But we can bring Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. And maybe we can do an away meeting. We'll all come down and babysit them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah. Yes, we can really do that. We can, take them out, give them ice cream, candy. You do that?
Give them back.
Yes, right. That's proper, that's karma for your children, right? Yeah. So congratulations, Joe. I think we're not going to see as much of Joe for this next period of time. I think that's what you were saying, but you're always with us, and we'll miss that booming voice, won't we? And the oversized personality. Well, the outsized. No, it's not the oversized. You're just right. So, talk about magic moments. Oh my God, Dan. Were you tired after that?
Well, David and I went out this last weekend and
Yes.
helped out Lustig. He's moving out of Monterey, and he has 40-something years of contractor materials and tools and supplies and things. So he has less now than he did when we arrived that morning.
Yeah, he's very, very grateful for that help. And thank you, Dan. And yesterday I took a lot of those materials over to Restore. They took almost everything. It was good. So, talk about magic moments. Dan, are you in every photo? Or should I say Linda? So this is 5 and 2 twice, right? How's it 5 and 2 twice? 5 people who are associated with Rotary Club of Sebastopol Sunrise, 2 with Rotary Club of Sebastopol, and easily 2 women and 5 men. Is that the general proportion to Rotary? We can do better, right? We did today. That's right. There's one more move. I don't know what our census is. Are we roughly that 1/3, 2/3? We're working on it. So, is there somebody, and I want to be first, is there somebody who has a moment of gratitude to share? And I want to share a moment of gratitude personally to Linda, who put together the information about our club and sent it off to the district so that we will be obviously the club of the year. We're actually the club of the year at the district level every year. It's just they don't know it. So Are you guys awesome? Do you do a lot of really cool stuff? Absolutely. Brilliant. And in all categories. You should see the list. As a matter of fact, we should share the list, but we're going to embarrass ourselves. We're so good. Oh, got a little news for you. This is our inbound exchange student. Her name is Sarah. She's coming from Denmark. She is 15, going on 16. She speaks Bosnian. She speaks German. She speaks English, 8 years of English in school. And I've typed with her, and she's quite bright. And of course, she speaks Danish. How about that? Does well in school, and she is in a sports school because she's a big-time soccer player. Who knows? Maybe they can't take her in on the team because she may be at a level that they don't allow you to play. You're so good. So we are looking for a host family for her. I've got a flyer that's over on the table. Looks like this. And to be a host family, you need to go through a qualification, apply to do that. Typically, the student stays 3.5 to 4 months flexibly. There is coverage, respite, so if Joe said, okay, I'll take the exchange student, but I'm gone on Wednesdays, I need some help with that, that gets supplied. Even respite backup for a week or two, if the family needs that. So please take a flyer, share it with people that you know that you think could be really good prospects. They do not have to be a family with kids. In fact, some of the young people, when they first arrive, that first placement is kind of nice if there's no kids. A little less pressure for them. You know, they come home, it's quiet, you're in school, you're learning all these new things, you're meeting all these new people, and you need to go home, close the door, and take a nap. was what we discovered, because we've hosted a lot, and I would love to host, but guess what? I just moved to Santa Rosa. I'm not living in the district anymore, so my house is not the ideal house for that. So flyers at the table. John.
Does one exchange student have multiple months of the year?
3. So they're with a family for 3.5 to 4 months. It's flexible. We just talk with people and everybody works it out. It's worked marvelously. I've got to tell you, this year's been a little bit tougher, in part because, we're post-COVID and people are still kind of pulling themselves together, and they're all saying, oh, next year I'd love to. Next year I'd love to. But, we don't have it yet, and we need it really now, because there's a process of interview and preparation that we go through to help that family to be knowledgeable, effective, and to have backup. So think about who you know, look around in your neighborhood, look around in the places you go and say, this is somebody who lives in the West County and might enjoy hosting. It is an experience, well, as you saw with Jeff A., it's an experience that keeps on giving, and it gives you some really great places to visit in this world. Oh, Rotary Club of Sebastopol is having an event this Saturday. Raffle, fun, it's over at Boletto's. $100 gets you in the door, and you can, participate in their live auction, their silent auction, their event, their joy, and their programs, because they're raising funds to do a lot of wonderful things. So, anybody here already have tickets? We got some people going, and if you're not going, guess what? You can buy raffle tickets, $50 a pop, and you may end up going to Africa, whether you want to or not. You can see up there, you see that lion looking at the people in the Jeep? If you feel like you're not having enough excitement and memories in life, a lion chasing you in a Jeep across the savannah would be something you would remember for the rest of your life, however long that might end up being. It's a matter of luck. So, big news. super big news. Check this out. When we make contributions to the Rotary Foundation, to the annual fund, 3 years later, half of that money comes back to us, how we will. And our district uses that for district grants and matching for our world grants, and has discretion. So we had enough money in our budget. You guys were so generous 3 years ago that we have enough money to spend $39,000 to support people in Ukraine, and the disaster fund specifically earmarked for that. So the money is sent. We met the April 30th guideline, and does that make you feel like, wow, are we freaking awesome or what? Yes. So good on you. Applause to everybody here who has contributed to the Rotary Foundation, because you do wonderful things, and and you do stuff that, well, I can't talk about it. I'm going to do a Bill Sauber cry up here. We have a guest who would like a moment to chat with us. Terry, would you please?
Thank you, President. It's nice to be here. I haven't been at this club meeting in many, many years, but I've always had a good time when I've been here. The district conference is in 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from Friday, and the district governor this year is in the same club as Marty and me, so we're kind of out here showing for him when we have a chance. It's going to be at River Lodge in Fortuna, which some of you might remember 19 years ago, there was a district conference with a different district governor from the same club. Anyway, one of the great speakers who's going to be there is named Sanford Brown, and he is the man who argued to have women admitted to Rotary in front of the Supreme Court. And so he's going to do that. It's hard to imagine what Rotary would look like without having women in it. You look around this room and you look at the rest of Rotary, and I've been in 30 years, and it's amazing to me. So I am probably going to, with a mask on, kiss this guy Saturday night in 2 weeks. I haven't decided yet, but sometime. The other thing I'd like to talk about, so please do register. It'll be fun, it's inexpensive, you can just register for one meal if you want and come, and there are some nice motels that are nearby, walking distance to the venue. The Triple Crown Society, if you know me, you know about jewelry and me, so I love a society that has jewelry. Triple Crown Society members are members of the Paul Harris Society, major donors, and have left at least $10,000 to Rotary. Service beyond self after they're no longer here. The president can talk to you about that. So please do think about it. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me, and you can talk to the president too. Thank you. It's good to see all of you.
Thank you so much. I'm so undone by your being here. That's why I'm calling everybody Linda. So thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
And it's coming up, June 2nd. Now would be the time for us to start checking in and saying, hey, I want to be there. So Laguna High School's graduation is on June the 2nd at 10. But if you arrive at 9, you can help to usher and connect and help facilitate this event to be the wonderful graduating event it should be. I think you've heard me mention, but I'll remind you that this is the largest graduating class from Laguna ever. 70 students in continuation high school, and it's something we support and feel very strongly about. So should they check in with you? Yeah. Okay, so check in with Wayne if you're willing to come a little bit early and be an usher, help to facilitate so that the families can just come, enjoy their event, and we'll just be there serving in whatever way we will, kind of like we usually do, right? And here's stuff for your calendar. Now is the only time in the club where you can get your phone out and take a picture. Wait a minute. You got it? Okay. Just to read through, because the print is small, every Monday at 8 o'clock, I don't know why it still says 7:30, but somebody could prompt me while I'm not here. 7:30, hot mug parking lot, and there's hiking. Did you guys go hike? Wow. Did you guys go hike? Yes, that's all about there. You walked around hot mud. Go. 30. There was none of them. Yep. And if you didn't show up anyway, yes. Go to the website, Google, join the money card, money into their club, all those good causes. Hey, it's the member meeting online, there's a, so go right that way. Hold on,
And if you're speaking, as a, I'd love you to join our membership meeting so we can make sure that we have, I'll be talking with you about food and so forth and what you're having. So you've got.
So you're gonna call us up as well? I'm ready. I got it covered. Marty, can I borrow the hat? Want to bring maybe, I'm with that. I don't know when chips to bring. I'll make them. Okay, where are we? So next week on the 11th, Curtis is going to be leading the meeting. I'm leading the meeting, sitting down here. Yeah. Hey, only 2 more months. You can get through. They say that no president ever destroys the club in 1 year. I've done my best, but you guys keep showing up. And that's a real show of your fortitude that you would continue to do that, because I would have missed all my meetings if I had the chance. Let's see, fireside chat, that's what you were talking about. May 11th, 5:30 at Marty's house. And thank you so much, Marty, for hosting that event. It's a wonderful tradition that you do that. We're very grateful.
Oliver needs practice eating chicken.
Is that what so he goes around and begs, and this is training for him for how to get food? Good thing. Okay, so the board meeting will be on Zoom, 5:30 on the 18th. Definitely be there. Everybody is invited, and it's such a fun event, you shouldn't miss it. District conference, we know what's coming up. 21st and 22nd are the main parts for people, and there are flyers for that. June 2nd, the Laguna, and June 14th, the West County Summit, sponsored by the Sebastopol Service and Action Coalition. Flyer is in the back, that yellow flyer. So the Service and Action Coalition has put together a summit to increase volunteerism. This is the coalition, as you recall, of all of the service clubs here in the area. So Rotary, Kiwanis, Sebastopol, VFW, Masons, we're all getting in the same place. Pretty darn awesome thing, and wonderful to have that organization. We're doing activities together, but this is to encourage volunteerism and get things going. Any quick announcements?
So next Friday, the 13th, I'll be the program at the Sebastopol Club, Noon Club. And I'll be talking about my vocation.
I have tomato plants over here, $2 a piece, which is a real good deal. All the money goes to Laguna High School. So it's volunteer. I take IOUs, no credit cards.
I'll take the credit card. Any other announcements? Good. Next week's presenter. Did I hear something? Next week's presenter is Nicolette. I'm not going to do that last name. Director of Workforce Development at the North Coast Builder Exchange, and she leads the North Bay Construction Corps, a construction career exploration opportunity for high school students. And Marty. And Marty's going to introduce you, if you don't mind.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Jennifer Masterson. Jennifer was one of our first Scoutmasters of an all-girls troop. As you know, the Boy Scouts of America widened its opportunity, and now it's called Scouting, and we have both boy troops and girl troops, and Jennifer was one of the leaders in that. Jennifer this summer will be running what we call National Youth Leadership Training down at Camp Tam Rancho in Marin for scouts that are have training, and to train them learn even more. Jennifer is really a nation-known dog breeder and judge on the upper levels of the judging dogs, and she raised Oliver.
I take no blame.
And her kennel is out on Blank Road here in Sebastopol. So with that, I'll introduce just a wonderful scouter. She is currently one of our vice presidents, as well as a scoutmaster for the Boy Scout Council. Jennifer.
Thank you, Marty. Hi, everybody. Well, I don't know, I mean, he waxed on. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll go sit down. I have been a volunteer in the Boy Scout program for 27 years, and it started with my son, who is now 31, and I have 2 boys. I have no girls. But my son brought home a flyer from kindergarten. Mom, I want to join Cub Scouts. I'm Cub Scouts. I know nothing about Cub Scouts. My brother was a Cub Scout. My uncle's an Eagle Scout. He's 91 years old. But okay, let's do this, because I raised kids to have fun with them. I didn't raise them to hand them off to somebody else. So we show up to the meeting, and there's 2 other moms who knew nothing about Cub Scouts, and they decided they wanted to do Cub Scouting with their sons. So we ended up with 14 boys that first year. We had a lot of fun. We did all kinds of fun stuff, including riding with derby cars. Along comes my second son 6 years later, and once again, I'm signing up as a volunteer, as a Cub Scout den leader. Both my boys are Eagle Scouts. One earned it at, we say, the 11th hour, just before his 18th birthday, and the other one watched his older brother go through high school, senior project, Eagle Scout project, stress up the wazoo, college apps, and said, I'm gonna be done by the time I'm 16. Smart boy. He not only stayed done, but he stayed involved, because scouting really is about volunteerism. It's about giving back to your community. A lot of people think scouting is all about camping and hiking and learning to make knots and build projects. But really the mission of the Boy Scouts of America, and we still, our head company is the Boy Scouts of America. The program I'm currently involved in is Scouts BSA. So the mission of Boy Scouts of America is teaching young people to make ethical and moral decisions over the course of their lifetime by instilling the Scout oath and Scout law. Are there Eagle Scouts in the audience? Yay, there we go. We've got two Eagle Scouts. That's awesome. 3, there we go, third. 3 Eagle Scouts. Marty actually earned his Eagle Scout rank in the Boy Scout troop that I run in Petaluma as the committee chair, that was established in 1942. And it's chartered by the Rotary Club of Petaluma. So I have a relationship with that Rotary Club down there. In 2017, Scouting looked at including girls, and I had rebuilt a Cub Scout pack in Petaluma, Cub Scout Pack 84, chartered by the Lions Club. So I work with a lot of nonprofit, community-minded organizations. And the district executive at the time, Daniel Hempel, came to me and said, would you be a pilot pack for welcoming girls? I said, sure. I'm happy to do that. What are the rules? The rules were that we had to have girls in the program. They had to be equally involved. They had to have the opportunities that all the boys did and be taught the exact same things. I said, I could do that, not a problem. So we welcomed girls. That first year we had 10, the second year we had 20, the third year we were up to 30. My pack is the largest pack in 2 counties. We have 92 children, boys and girls. You know, and we became not provisional, but actually a full-blown pack that way. In 2018, or 2017, the Boy Scouts said, well, what are we gonna do with these girls when they're ready to go up to the older scout program? We can't stop it at the end of 5th grade. We need troops, and how is that gonna look? So they had all the people down in Texas figuring this out, and once again, I had people come to me and say, would you start a Boy Scout troop for girls? I actually had 3 different people come to me on that one with their daughters who knew me because I ran Boy Scouts for Boys. And their daughters would come and watch everything we did, from shooting guns to bows and arrows to building huge monkey bridges and backpacking, 50-mile backpack trips, 50-mile canoe trips down the river. We had a lot of fun, and the girls wanted to do it too. But Boy Scouts said, in order to do this, we gotta make sure that they're fully trained leaders. They know the rules, they scout safely, believe in youth protection, and demonstrated that they could serve themselves. So I had people say, would you do this? Sure. I'm a volunteer. And we set out and started gathering up. We started with 5 girls back in August of 2018. We started meeting once a month to figure out what this troop was going to look like. So basically in Scouts, it is youth run, youth done. And I'm a good moderator. I'm good at saying, hey, these are the rules. This is what we got to do. Have you thought about this? We officially launched on the very first day that in 2019. So we really haven't been doing scouting very long. BSA, in recognizing that some of these girls were going to be 16 and 17 years old when they were able to join Boy Scouts for the very first time, had a lot to learn in order to obtain the rank of Eagle Scout. So how fair would it be to say, oh, you're now 18, you didn't get it all done, so you can't be an Eagle Scout. But we're actually allowed a one-time extension right off the bat based on their age when they joined, so that they had the opportunity to learn all those skills and still earn the rank of Eagle Scout. There are 7 ranks in scouting, and the first 4 have to do everything with skills. And that means they have a lot to learn. They didn't do it in Cub Scouts like many of the young people that we had previously. They had to learn it in a year and a half in order to get to the last 3 ranks, which have a time constraint. They can only be a Life Scout for so long, they can be a Star Scout for so long, and the rank of Eagle Scout, they have to have a certain number of months. And those last 3 ranks are about leadership, community involvement, service projects, and leading other young people to do these. So we're building future Rotarians and Lions Club members, basically, if you think about it. We're teaching them to give back to their community in a way that they are outdoors and learning skills and self-reliance, problem solving. These are all things that young people truly need, especially in this world. So we launched February 1, 2019. What happened in 2020? COVID. I have 3 Eagles under my belt now, 3 young ladies that worked through COVID, worked through online Zoom. We also were meeting on my property in Sebastopol when we were not on strict shelter in place. And the girls asked to do that. They said, can we still camp? Can we still do it? Unfortunately, I have a property we can. So we again sat down and said, okay, Scouts, what are the rules? What are the county rules? How are we going to make this work? They researched it. They reached out to our Scout executive. They reached out to the girl troop was chartered by the Church of Christ in Petaluma, and they got permission to continue meeting. And they made a stone hard fast agreement that they would not be with any other young people. So that was their core group. Those 10 girls, that was their 10, and 2 adult leaders, because that's the Scouts rules. You have to have 2 adults. And they met every week on my property. They built flashing projects, catapults, you name it, they learned, they taught, they planned, they created Eagle projects, all within the COVID dynamics that we all had to deal with. Not one COVID case. They followed the rules, they were respectful, and today I do have 3 Eagle Scouts. One of them did her project out at the Earl Baum Center, which is a school for the blind. Another one did her project at the Church of Christ, and the last one spent a year researching garbage out at Helen Putnam Regional Park and created a Leave It Better campaign rather than just your basic put your garbage away. And the Scouts got out there with 3 different troops building pathways and new signage so that people would not walk their litter wherever they went, just close enough to a garbage can, not in a garbage can. And she actually made presentations to the county regional parks. This young lady is also, you might have heard her on the radio, she has led the, this is Kate Carlson, led the, the coho salmon project with the Casa Grande hatchery, fish hatchery, and brought in those so that they not only worked with what the steelhead they were working with, but brought in the endangered coho salmon. So these young people, they blow my mind. You know, I think about what I did when I was in high school. I was so selfish and so self-centered. And these young people, they wanted to be scouts. You know, one of the biggest questions I get is, but is it any less than what the boys had to do? Nope, exact same book. They have to learn the exact same knots. They have to learn the exact same life-saving and first aid. They have to learn all the same backpacking, camping requirements that the boys do. And they love it. We don't have as many girls in the program yet, and it amazes me that still people don't realize that girls are welcome into Boy Scouts. I see it at the parades. They say, oh, I didn't know girls could be Boy Scouts. Are they Girl Scouts? No, they're females in the Boy Scout program. They're not Girl Scouts. 2 different programs. And these girls that want to do this program, a couple of them are actually in both. Just like young people could play soccer and basketball. Both have the methodology of a ball, both have the methodology of team, yet they're different sports with a little bit different rules. And that's the way I liken the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts programs. A little different program, maybe a little different rules, but definitely both good programs for young people. Currently today, I believe my girl troop, and Marty, you can probably verify that, is the largest in 3 counties. I stand with 20 girls and 3 Eagle Scouts and have a ready group of girls that come in pretty much every year. We welcome Scouts all year long, unlike what they used to do in the fall. You'd sign up in Scouts as soon as school went back. Today, Scouts join year round, and there is never a bad time to join Scouting. Our summer months are spent camping. Our very first trip in June to July 2018, we actually went to Montana for 2 weeks. We did Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, and KBRM Scout Ranch. And we were the very first girl troop, not only at Camp Royane out here in Cazadero, but at KBRM. And so these girls, they had to be big trailblazers. They walked into a boy-dominated world with 400 young boys in these camps and male scout leaders, and here I am, me and my girls, along with another female scout leader, and we're saying, we're here to be Boy Scouts. They did it, they held their head up, they did it, and at the end of each experience, the scout directors, the camp directors are saying, wow, you guys just raised the bar for all the boys that walk through this door. So again, teaching young people to make ethical and moral decisions over the course of their lifetime by instilling the Scout Oath and Scout Law. Does anybody know what the Scout Oath and Scout Law is? Come on, Marty, let's do it together. On my honor, oh, sorry, this way. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically fit, mentally awake, and morally straight. And the Scout Law is, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Anybody have any questions? Yes?
Let's get a mic.
I just want to say, we've had a lot of Boy Scout speakers, and you've articulated what it's all about so much better than any other person, male or female. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, I think it's amazing what you do. Thank you. So I see it's still called Boy Scouts of America. I heard Marnie say, and I've heard it often called Scouting. And I'm curious about the plans for that.
That's a really good question. I liken it to Boy Scouts of America is our parent company. And we have different franchises. We have Venturing Crew, Venturing BSA. So the BSA stands for Boy Scouts of America. Venturing is for 14 to 21-year-olds, and that's a high adventure program. It's co-ed because you have boys and girls in the same unit. Scouts BSA is the scout program that runs from the ages of 11 through 18 years, and that is where they earn the rank of Eagle Scout. And then Cub Scouts is the lowest program for kindergarten through 5th grade. So that was a really good question. So when BSA started to brand them, one, they're known for acronyms, everything's acronyms. NYLT, National Youth Leadership Training, SM, Scoutmaster, BSA, Boy Scouts of America. So Boy Scouts of America, you think about it from that standpoint, that it is a parent company, and this is one of the divisions of their company. Does that make sense? It's been hard for us to all get used to the new terminology as well. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the lawsuit that went on between Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Scouting has been the term that we have used since 1910. So it's been a term that we have and are familiar with. So that's Boy Scouts America is still the term that we have. That's our parent company. It's on all our paperwork. Does that make sense? No. It'll always be Boy Scouts of America. That is our head group based out of Irving, Texas. And then Scouts BSA, when I'm in Cub Scouting, I'm wearing a Cub Scout uniform. If I'm in Venturing, and that's a green uniform, it says Venturing BSA. And then Scouts BSA is the middle-age program.
One more question here.
Yes.
I'm sorry I may have missed it, but are there co-ed troops as well?
Now, that's another good question. I know the way BSA rolled it out was basically you have boy troops and girl troops. We are going to be in a pilot program currently with our Cub Scout packs. It's supposed to be girl dens and boy dens, and I can honestly tell you, girls get things faster than boys 9 times out of 10 when they're little. I just did a tent building contest between 2 dens. The girl den built that tent like that. The boy den was still trying to figure out how to put everything together. The girls read the instructions, the boys didn't. so there is, and honestly, there are troops that we call them linked troops. There's matter of fact, Troop 27B in Sebastopol, and Troop 27G, the B stands for boy, G stands for girl. They are chartered by the same organization, have the same kind of committee overhead. Troops actually meet at the exact same time and line up in your patrols, and you got your boy patrols and your girl patrols. The girls that came to me about starting a Boy Scout troop for the girls, they didn't want to share with the boys. They wanted to be their own unit. And when you think about it, you take a bunch of 14-year-old girls out camping with a bunch of 16-year-old boys, it could be really embarrassing when they get their first period. So they want to be on their own. Some units are working towards the direction that they may be a co-ed program. That's not the way the Boy Scouts see it right now. They do see it as the girls doing their own thing, the exact same program, and the boys doing theirs. And I'm a traditionalist. I think it's a lot of fun for the girls to get out and have that time in the woods with just the girls. And I run a Boy Scout troop that currently has 42 boys. They like to go do their own thing too. So that's okay, and that's absolutely okay. The fact that the girls can still do this program is really what it was all about, that they've been welcomed in and allowed to learn all the same skills, do all the same activities, and earn that coveted rank of Eagle Scout. 6 out of every 100 young people that join Scouting make it to the rank of Eagle. But every one of those young people that join Scouting, and I travel in the dog show world, I can tell you most people notice that I'm a Scout at some point in that journey on the airplane. And I can tell you how many men have said to me, I was a Boy Scout once, never made it to Eagle, but I sure enjoyed my trip in Scouting. I had a great time, and I wish I'd made Eagle. You know, to hear a 60-year-old say that, the girls definitely wanted that opportunity too. So they have it. And really, that's what it gets down to. Whether BSA will someday be totally co-ed, where girls and boys can be in the same troop, I don't know. They'll always look at it. BSA has opened up doors to so many different opportunities for people of all genders that, you know, it's an ever-changing situation right now. Yes.
How does the traditional Girl Scouts organization view this evolution, girls going over to join Boy Scouts?
I tell you, we're happy. They were worried about losing their girls and their programs, but the programs are very different. And I do have, and there are, what we call golden eagles. Girls the highest rank they get is the goals that do both programs, and they are very good micromanagers of their time. Hello, future business executives. And so their goal is to earn both. As the dust settles, you know, I mean, this was never intended to take away from anybody, and I will long advocate. I'm not going to tell my child you can't play soccer if you play basketball. You should be able to do both. And so I think as things settle, the Girl Scout program is still a strong, solid program.
I just wanted to share a horror story. Standing in line with my son, and he has his Pinewood Derby car, and the scout in front of us has his car, and Dad's very proud. And the scout ahead of us puts his car up there, ready to roll. And when they released the little stopper so it could go, he hadn't quite put it straight on the track, and it went over the side, and the wheel smashed off.
Oh, no.
And the poor dad just about came apart.
Oh.
So you learn things in scouting different ways.
You do. We have a saying in scouting that scouting is a safe place to fail. You know, in this day and age, youth are not taught that failure is okay. And yet, what do we deal with as adults? Failure, day in and day out, and it's heartbreaking, but it's something we all have to work through. So what a good thing, an opportunity for that scout to learn, oh man, and I've seen that. I've run the derbies for 20 years, you know, and the parents are mortified that their child is now disappointed, but if you take it right, you go, no, dude, this year we didn't do so well, so what do we learn from that? What are we gonna do differently next year? And that is always our standard answer as a scout leader. What are you gonna do differently next year? What are you gonna do differently tomorrow to make the outcome different? Because what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So there we go. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. You never forgot it, did you? No, but I bet the next year the wheel didn't fall off. I know, but I bet the next year the wheel didn't fall off. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Thank you for your warm welcome. It's been a lot of fun.
We're very grateful for the time that you have shared with us and for the wonderful work that you do. Two things. One is I want to let you know that we bought some diversity, equity, and inclusion books and contributed them to a local school. And we're going to inscribe one of them with your name in honor of your time with us and your wonderful work. And so there will, you know, you're immortal in many, many ways. By the way, you might be interested to know that this, our podium, was done as a scout project by Sterling Walburn and Mike Paulus.
Oh, Mike Paulus?
Yeah.
That's Troop 32, Santa Rosa.
There you go.
And Troop 32's Scoutmaster earned his Eagle in 1980 from Boy Scout Troop 8. So,
how about that?
And he's the current president of the Rotary Empire Council.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you something that has not been given to any speaker before. That's a flyer about hosting Rotary exchange students, because I think you know some people that might like to meet an international student who's going to go to high school here in town for the entire next year.
Absolutely.
So let's talk.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You get her to join Scouts, she'll go back and found it. She sounds like a winner. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful to you. And Terry Kelly took off and said, "That's joke's on you guys. Who would like to do a joke out of Scott Hensey's zingers, quips, and one-liners, or has a joke of their own that they've been dying to share?" Diana Curtis.
I have a little joke. If with your car, if one door closes, another one opens. Other than that, it's a pretty good car. That's it.
Well done. Very nice. Thank you. So next week, our debutante, Diana Curtis, is going to be leading the crew. Thank you very much for being here. And now, don't forget the after party where we put everything away. You don't want to miss it. Joe, can you take us out of here?
Trails to you. Trails to you. Each smile comes then. Trails to you. Till we meet again.
Okay, nobody can leave without taking the tomato plant with them. So